Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be on how I created this wood grain tumbler. It was super easy, super fun to make, and as you can see, it turned out beautiful and it has a super glossy finish. And I will link down below everything that I used. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and comment if you have any questions. To achieve this glossy finish, I used Brite from the Crystalac company. This is how the Brite looks. It is an epoxy alternative. It's a water-based product and is very high in solids, so it builds quicker than any other water-based product. All Crystalac products are non-hazardous and non-toxic, and they are completely safe to use even indoors. There's no mixing that you have to do, so there's no toxic fumes that are ever released. And so yeah, I'll have that link down below in the video description if you guys want to check it out. So I started off with a prep tumbler. To prep this tumbler, I went ahead and sanded with 400 grit sanding paper, and I did add a base coat of white spray paint, and then I did let it gas off for 24 to 48 hours. I used these Bombay inks, which I bought at Hobby Lobby in the color brown and yellow. These Taklon brushes that I bought from Walmart. I'll go ahead and link everything that I used down below on the video description. And then I did use some popsicle sticks to just mix the colors. And then you're going to need just any mixing bowl to go ahead and mix both colors. And then I did go and tape off the rim of the cup using electrical tape, just so that no Bombay inks get on that part of the cup. You do want to make sure that you prep your tumbler when you are making any type of tumbler to ensure that that's one of the most important steps of making a tumbler, and that ensures that your cup is going to last long and you're not going to have any issues. So I started by just adding a little bit of both colors. I did 3 drops of each, 3 drops of the brown and then 3 drops of the yellow, and then I started mixing with my popsicle stick. You kind of just add more of each color depending on the color you're looking for. You kind of want to go for a like milky brown color, and then you can use a napkin to go ahead and swatch, do a test swatch to make sure that you are that the color's not too dark or too light. I did feel that the color was a little bit too dark, so I did add a couple more drops of yellow. So once I was satisfied with the color, I went ahead and started adding the color to my tumbler. I started by just adding lines of the color using my popsicle stick, and then using my Taklon brush to go ahead and spread it. You do want to make sure that you start off at the top of the cup and run your Taklon brush all the way down to where your cup ends to create that wood grain effect on your cup. It does dry pretty quickly, so I did run the Taklon brush over on the part that was already starting to dry off, and it helped create that wood grain look on the cup. So as you can see, I'm running my brush on the part that I started off with, and I just kind of went all around the cup as I was going around. I passed my brush over where on the parts that I already had added the Bombay inks on, if that makes sense. And you kind of just continue running your brush on your cup, starting on one end, like I said, and going all the way down. And there's really no wrong or right way to do it. You can see the wood grain effect starting to show up on the cup, and you just kind of add more to where you feel you need more texture, more of the wood grain effect on your cup. And at first it's going to look really light, but as you continue to go around on your cup, just continue to run your brush and add more, like I said, more wherever you need, where you feel you need more. And don't forget to do the bottom. I almost forgot. I ended up going back and doing it. And then I just kind of randomly just started putting it where I felt it needed a little bit more. And then with Bombay inks, the good thing about this, you don't need to seal this with anything before adding Brite tone. So after it dries, you do have to let it dry for about an hour, and then you can start with coating it with Brite tone. You don't have to seal it with spray paint. You don't have to seal it with clear spray paint or anything like that, like you would with other things like alcohol inks. So you just continue adding more of your Bombay ink mixture until you are satisfied with your wood grain finish. As I said earlier, you don't need to seal your wood grain with anything if you're using Bombay inks. You just let it dry for an hour and then you can start coating with Brite tone. So after letting your cup dry for an hour, you can start coating with Brite tone. I did add 2 coats of Brite tone before I added my decal to my cup. As always, the Brite tone coats are added thin. You just want to add a thin, even layer to your cup. And you're going to want to let your cup spin for an hour and then dry for an additional 3 hours for it's a total 4 hours of dry time. So after 2 coats of Brite tone, I'm going to add my decals to my cup. I am going to apply my decals using the wet method. After I applied my decals, I added 4 more coats of Brite tone to go ahead and cover my decals. I didn't film any of the coats that I gave my cup after the decal, but I did do 4 more coats of Brite tone to get over the decal. So after coating my cup with Brite tone, my cup ended up with a super glossy finish, as you can see, and my decals are covered, and yeah, the wood grain finish turned out really well. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to help. Thank you so much for watching.